All right, what's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. We've got 11 games that we're going to talk about, give you my 7 best bets. Recap of yesterday, 4 and 3. So another winning day, technically, but we're just kind of right in there in that, just above 50%. So I like my picks today. I think the lines are going to move. We're going to get some good CLV on these. So let's get into that. But before we do, subscribe to the channel. It's free. It helps me grow the channel. Give the video a thumbs up, comment for the algorithm, all that good stuff. All right, let's jump in. First game, Pacers in the Magic. Magic absolutely dismantled the Hornets, which sucks because we were on Hornets +8. They just kind of fell apart pretty quick. All right. Pacers -2.5 in my opinion. They just got to make some shots, but I like the way the Pacers are playing. Obviously, with a Pacers team, you can look at it over. Problem is you've got a pretty fast-paced Pacers team against a pretty slow-paced Magic team. So kind of like to avoid over-unders when you kind of have that mix. So Indy -2.5. Celtics and the Nets. Celtics, oh boy, Hawks took them down. So do they come back a little fired up tonight? I think so. -8.5 is a little steep, though. I like the way this Brooklyn team plays. It's going to be a pass for me. If anything, I'd say take the over 216.5. Pelicans and the Thunder, all kinds of issues on the Pelicans in terms of injuries and whatnot. So no McCollum, no Zion Williamson. I mean, they've got some freaking issues that they've got to deal with here. So OKC -14.5. Again, just a little too tough for me in terms of that number. Lean towards the over 221.5 in that game. Not a game that I'm going to bet. All right, Bulls and the Knicks. Knicks looked very good against the 76ers. Traveling back home, I like them in this spot. -8.5 seems a little light against a pretty crappy Chicago team. Problem with the Knicks is they're just very up and down. So a good night and then a bad night. What kind of night will we have? Jalen Brunson really wasn't too involved. Only scored, I want to say 18 points last night. So I do think Jalen Brunson gets more involved tonight. Give me the Knicks -8.5. I like that spot, actually. Cavs in the 76ers, the red hot Cavs, 12-0, -9 against Philly. Embiid. I'm sure a lot of people were on Embiid and a lot of people lost money. So again, I'm going to fade Embiid just until we get to some level of normalcy in terms of his minutes and everything. Cavs -9. Not afraid to take them in this spot. So give me Cleveland -9. They're absolutely rolling. They're going to lose eventually. Don't think it's going to be the 76ers. All right, Pistons and the Bucks. Pistons in the hell of a game against the Miami Heat. I got burned on a play. I had the Cade Cunningham under 9 assists. And in OT with 1 second left, he got his 9th assist. So that sucked, but hell of a game. Yeah, Pistons look pretty good. That said, Milwaukee actually looked pretty good tonight. Got the job done. They'll be back home. It's Milwaukee -5.5 for me all day. Clippers and the Rockets. This should be a good spot for the Rockets, but I don't know. They play the Clippers kind of weird, but Houston -4.5. Only play I see is possibility here in this game. All right, and let's see. So mine is out of whack for some reason. So let's go Suns and the Kings. Phoenix +7. That's a wonky line. I know there's no Jalen Durant or Kevin Durant. I thought they looked pretty good tonight, though. I really thought they melded pretty well, especially without no Jurkic or Kevin Durant. So, in my opinion, I just, Sacramento's up and down. Phoenix +7. This line's got to move. It's got to be closer to 5 or 4 by the end of the day. All right, next game on the card here, Grizzlies and the Lakers. Lakers -6.5 at home. I don't mind that considering injuries and everything that Memphis has. So Lakers -6.5 there. Timberwolves and the Trailblazers. Last game here. Boy, don't think many people expected Minnesota to get beat, but they did. So they were 8.5 favorites coming into tonight. Ended up losing, or I should say last night, but still tonight for me. Yeah, not a game I want to touch. I want to see how Minnesota comes out. This might be a live bet, if anything. Lean towards the Minnesota side. I don't think they lose back-to-back to Portland, but we'll have to see. If anything, over 220.5 seems like a fairly good bet to make in that one. All right, let's get our best bets and get everybody out of here. So we're going to start with the first bet here, and that's going to be Brandon Ingram over 11.5 rebounds and assists. There's just nobody on that team. Somebody's got to get the job done here from a rebounds and assists perspective. I think Trey Murphy has a pretty good day in the points. I almost took his points here, but ended up going rebounds. I like his points, though. So Ingram over 11.5 rebounds and a points. Then we're going to go Trey Murphy over 4.5 rebounds. Guys, if you are going to parlay this stuff, don't parlay these two together. Split them up. OKC, 29th in rebounds allowed to the small forward position. Like I said, I think Trey Murphy has a good night. I like his PRAs. Pretty much like every line for him except assist. Next one is going to be Jaden Ivey over 3.5 rebounds. This is minus 132 on FanDuel. I think this line ends up getting bumped to 4.5 by game time. He's over this in 8 of the last 10. He had 9 rebounds against Miami. So good value here. This is like minus 160, minus 170 on some books already. Brandon Ingram under 4.5 turnovers. It's a pretty high number, but that also leads me to believe, obviously, he has a good chance of hitting that rebounds and assist number, but 4.5's high. He's under this in 8 of his last 10 games. This could be, I just don't see him getting 5 turnovers. All right, Alperen Sengun over 9.5 rebounds for Houston. He's over this in 7 of his last 10 games. Clippers are 11th in rebounds allowed to the center position. That said, he had 19 the last time he played them, so I like him to go over 9.5 rebounds. All right, next one is OG Anunoby under 2.5 steals and blocks. This line's kind of already moved. I got this at plus 100. Last I checked, it was at minus 105 already. So pretty sharp movement. He is under this in 3 of his last 10 games. I think this could have the potential to turn into a blowout where we don't see him play a ton either. So I like that line. Final play is going to be Keegan Murray of the Kings under 14.5 points. He's under this line in 8 of his last 10 games. And they do a good job of limiting points. So the only way he hits this is if he's just knocking down threes. I mean, he's only taking about 8 shots a game. So he's going to have to be absolutely on fire to hit this. I'm guessing the books are thinking that he's going to be dropping some threes. So I like the under 14.5 points. Those are my 7 favorite best bets. If you guys haven't already, like I said, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video.